It is the notification that every software founder dreads. A user clicks cancel, and another paid subscription vanishes. The instinctual response at the executive level is usually panic. You fire off an automated win-back email, or you test out a discounted pricing tier to stop the bleeding. Over on the product side, the team pulls up the analytics dashboard. They assume the software failed to deliver, so they tear down the onboarding flow and redesign the user interface. These are entirely operational fixes. They treat a canceled subscription as a localized defect at the very end of the customer pipeline. But even after months of tweaking tooltips and adjusting prices, those early cancellations persist. The reason those fixes fail is that they attempt to salvage a relationship that was doomed before the user even created an account. When users drop off quickly, it rarely points to a broken product. It points directly to an upstream marketing error. The acquisition engine pulled the wrong people through the door. To actually understand why that happens, we have to look at this linear timeline of a user's lifecycle, from acquisition on the left to churn on the right. We need to hit rewind, starting from the moment they leave. If we track back from their final exit survey and cross-reference it with the notes from their initial onboarding or sales chat, a pattern usually emerges. Often, the data flashes a warning right at the start. A user might mention hesitation about the price, or ask about a use case the software doesn't quite handle. They convert anyway, but they are already a massive flight risk. Pushing a hesitant user through the funnel doesn't create a loyal customer. It ensures a silent cancellation 30 days later. Keep rewinding past that onboarding step, and we land in the pre-sign-up phase. Here, diverging paths show us exactly which blog post or social ad the user clicked on before joining. A user who arrives after reading a highly specific use case article tends to stick around. A user who clicks on a broad, generic comparison post usually drops off a cliff. That broad awareness campaign optimizes for traffic volume, but it sets expectations the software was never designed to fulfill. High cancellation rates tied to specific posts tell you your marketing strategy is actively writing checks the product cannot cash. Now we reach the absolute beginning of the timeline, the initial acquisition source, and the exact segment of people you are targeting. Take a real-world case of a boat rental application. The development team engineered it for captains who wanted to list and monetize their own vessels. But when they launched, the messaging on their ads was too loose. It drove a massive wave of downloads from people who wanted to rent a boat for the weekend, rather than list one. Those renters churned within days. The onboarding flow wasn't broken, and the feature set worked perfectly. The copy simply left the door open, and an entirely incompatible audience walked right through it. You cannot retain a user who never belonged in your ecosystem. The only fix is to rewrite the invitation. Back in the present, this scatterplot shows how to handle the data at scale. A standard dashboard shows you cancellation volume, but tracing those exits backward organizes raw numbers into actionable clusters tied directly to your acquisition sources. Instead of passively staring at a monthly churn report, block off 30 minutes every month for a proactive review. Look at exactly who left and map where they came from. Pull up your ideal customer profile. Take the behavioral traits of your fastest churning users and overlay them onto that profile. If there is a severe mismatch, your marketing is misaligned. When you identify an ad channel pulling in users who quit by day 4, stop trying to code a better welcome tutorial. Cut the ad spend and rewrite the landing page copy to filter those people out. Handled correctly, cancellation data ceases to be a localized retention metric. It becomes a precise gauge of your channel quality. The SaaS teams that successfully stabilize their user base don't do it by changing their product. They do it by changing their audience. Stop burning engineering hours on arbitrary feature updates, hoping to appease customers who were a bad fit from the very first click. Pull the list of every user who canceled last month. Pick a single name, trace their path backward, and ask where they came from. Because at the end of the day, those departures are the most honest feedback you will ever get about whether your marketing is actually speaking to the right people.